闭眼背雅思单词。
Prevalence,
普及、流行、盛行。
restrict,
restrict.
restrict.
限制、约束。
Inside these zones, traffic speeds are restricted to 20 miles per hour.
在这些区域内，交通限速为20英里小时。
Inside these zones, traffic speeds are restricted to 20 miles per hour.
Consequence,
consequence.
consequence.
后果。
I didn't think through the consequences of promotion.
我没有充分考虑到晋升带来的各种结果。
I didn't think through the consequences of promotion.
Artifact,
artefact.
artifact.
人工制品、手工艺品。
They also repair broken religious artifacts.
他们也修补破损的宗教手工艺品。
They also repair broken religious artifacts.
Motivational,
motivational.
motivational.
动机的，有关动机的。
Booklet,
booklet.
booklet.
小册子。
This booklet is filled with misstatements of fact.
这本小册子充斥着错误的信息。
This booklet is filled with misstatements of fact.
Native,
native.
native.
当地的。
Dr. Aubin is a native of St. Louis.
奥宾医生是圣路易斯人。
Dr. Aubin is a native of St. Louis.
Magnificent,
magnificent.
magnificent.
壮丽的、宏伟的、华丽的、高尚的。
He had a magnificent head of silvered hair.
他有一头漂亮的银发。
He had a magnificent head of silvered hair.
Hitherto,
hitherto.
hitherto.
到目前为止，迄今。
The ruling party is likely to be opened up to let in people hitherto excluded.
执政党可能会放开政策，吸纳迄今被排斥在外的人士。
The ruling party is likely to be opened up to let in people hitherto excluded.
Robust,
robust.
robust.
健壮的、强壮的、坚定的。
He replied in characteristically robust style.
他以典型的坚定风格作答。
He replied in characteristically robust style.
Disfigure,
disfigure.
disfigure.
使毁容，使变丑。
Many of the wounded had been badly disfigured.
受伤者中，很多被严重毁容。
Many of the wounded had been badly disfigured.
Depletion,
depletion.
depletion.
削减、消耗。
What they find could provide clues to what might happen worldwide if ozone depletion continues.
如果臭氧的损耗继续下去，他们的发现能为全世界可能发生的情况提供线索。
What they find could provide clues to what might happen worldwide if ozone depletion continues.
Dominant,
dominant.
dominant.
占优势的、统治的、居高临下的。
Conduce,
conduce.
conduce.
有益于、有助于、导致。
Particularly,
particularly.
particularly.
特别、尤其。
This is a particularly feeble argument.
这是个特别站不住脚的论点。
This is a particularly feeble argument.
Prohibit,
Prohibit.
prohibit,
禁止、阻止，
Fishing is prohibited.
捕鱼是受禁止的。
Fishing is prohibited.
decibel,
Decibel.
decibel,
分贝，
Continuous exposure to sound above 80 decibels could be harmful.
持续暴露于超过80分贝的声音可能有害。
Continuous exposure to sound above 80 decibels could be harmful.
airplane,
Aeroplane.
airplane,
飞机，
The airplane will travel at twice the speed of sound.
飞机将以2倍于音速的速度飞行。
The airplane will travel at twice the speed of sound.
jostle,
Jostle.
jostle,
推挤，挤开通路。
They were jostled and subjected to a torrent of verbal abuse.
他们被推来搡去，并受到了潮水般的辱骂。
They were jostled and subjected to a torrent of verbal abuse.
devalue,
Devalue.
devalue,
是贬值、贬低。
India has devalued the rupee by about 11%.
印度已经使卢比贬值约11%。
India has devalued the rupee by about 11%.
foresee,
Foresee.
foresee,
预见、预知，
He did not foresee any problems.
他没有预见到任何问题。
He did not foresee any problems.
gleam,
Gleam.
gleam,
闪烁、流露，
His black hair gleamed in the sun.
他的黑头发在阳光下闪闪发光。
His black hair gleamed in the sun.
kidney,
Kidney.
kidney,
肾、肾脏，
He had kidney stones.
他有肾结石。
He had kidney stones.
detract,
Detract.
detract,
去掉、减损。
Remember, you want your visuals to reinforce your message, not detract from what you are saying.
要记住，你是要用视觉资料来强化你的信息，而不是削弱你所讲述的内容。
Remember, you want your visuals to reinforce your message, not detract from what you are saying.
scrupulous,
Scrupulous.
scrupulous,
多顾虑的、谨慎的、一丝不苟的、严谨的。
You're being very scrupulous, but to what end?
你表现得很讲良心，但目的是什么呢？
You're being very scrupulous, but to what end?
associate,
Associate.
associate,
使联合，使有联系、交往。
He entered the firm as a junior associate.
他作为一名初级职员进入了该公司。
He entered the firm as a junior associate.
stock,
Stock.
stock,
储备，
Tech stocks have tanked.
科技股票已经表现得很糟糕了。
Tech stocks have tanked.
verification,
Verification.
verification,
确认，
All charges against her are dropped pending the verification of her story.
在他的陈述得到证实前，所有针对他的指控都被撤回。
All charges against her are dropped pending the verification of her story.
charity,
Charity.
charity,
慈善、施舍、慈善机构。
Are you collecting for charity?
你是在为慈善募捐吗？
Are you collecting for charity?
suspend,
Suspend.
suspend,
吊、悬挂、 推迟、暂停、终止。
The union suspended strike action this week.
工会本周暂停了罢工行动。
The union suspended strike action this week.
Compendium.
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 简要、概略。
The Roman Catholic Church has issued a compendium of its teachings.
罗马天主教会已经发行了一份其教义的概略。
The Roman Catholic Church has issued a compendium of its teachings.
Judgment.
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 意见、审判、判断。
His judgment was unreliable.
他的判断是不可靠的。
His judgment was unreliable.
Beneath.
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 在下方，
They decided she was marrying beneath her.
他们认定她嫁的是一个配不上她的人。
They decided she was marrying beneath her.
Swap. Swap. Swap.
交换，
She swapped her plain suit for a girly dress.
她把一身朴素的套装换成了一条有女人味的裙子。
She swapped her plain suit for a girly dress.
Stationary.
Stationery.
Stationary.
文具，
Mineral.
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 矿物、矿石。
The mineral is weakly magnetic.
这种矿石有轻微的磁性。
The mineral is weakly magnetic.
Surge.
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 蜂拥而出，波动、涌动。
Row upon row of women surged forwards.
一排又一排的妇女向前涌去。
Row upon row of women surged forwards.
Ritual.
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 典礼、仪式、例行公事。
They have divested rituals of their original meaning.
这些仪式的原意已被他们丧尽。
They have divested rituals of their original meaning.
Tutor.
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 家庭教师、私人教师。
He moved from being a part-time tutor to being a lecturer in social history.
他从一名兼职助教转变成了一名社会史讲师。
He moved from being a part-time tutor to being a lecturer in social history.
Dispense.
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 分发、分配、提供。
The union had already dispensed $60,000 in grants.
工会已经分发了6万美元的补助金。
The union had already dispensed $60,000 in grants.
Tempt. Tempt. Tempt.
引诱、吸引。
I'm very tempted to sell my house.
我很想卖掉我的房子。
I'm very tempted to sell my house.
Basis.
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 基础、根据、原则。
Education is the basis of a democratic society.
教育是民主社会的基础。
Education is the basis of a democratic society.
Clinical.
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 临床的、冷静客观的、简朴的、不装饰的。
All this questioning is so clinical it kills romance.
所有这些发问是如此无人情味，使浪漫荡然无存。
All this questioning is so clinical it kills romance.
Twist.
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 缠绕、碾、扭曲、弯曲。
John twisted his ankle badly.
约翰的脚踝严重扭伤。
John twisted his ankle badly.
Indulge.
indulge,
Indulge.
沉溺于、纵情于、满足、放纵、听任。
He did not agree with indulging children.
他不同意娇惯孩子。
He did not agree with indulging children.
Perplex.
perplex,
Perplex.
使困惑，使复杂化。
She is perplexed about what to do for her daughter.
他很困惑，不知该为女儿做些什么。
She is perplexed about what to do for her daughter.
Boulder.
boulder,
Boulder.
大石头，鹅卵石。
The shoreline was made up of a jumble of huge boulders.
这海岸线由一堆杂乱的巨石构成。
The shoreline was made up of a jumble of huge boulders.
Combat.
combat,
Combat.
战斗、搏斗，
It was the end of a long combat.
那是一场长时间搏斗的结束。
It was the end of a long combat.
Forthcoming.
forthcoming,
Forthcoming.
即将到来的，
They promised that the money would be forthcoming.
他们承诺说钱会到位的。
They promised that the money would be forthcoming.
Procrastinate.
procrastinate,
Procrastinate.
耽搁、拖延。
Most often we procrastinate when faced with something we do not want to do.
面对不想做的事情，我们经常拖延。
Most often we procrastinate when faced with something we do not want to do.
Dioxide.
dioxide,
Dioxide.
二氧化物，
Dissolved carbon dioxide makes the water more acidic.
溶解的二氧化碳使水更具酸性。
Dissolved carbon dioxide makes the water more acidic.
Locate.
locate,
Locate.
找到，位于，使作落于，把设置在。
The house is located in one of the city's prettiest squares.
该房子位于市区最漂亮的广场之一。
The house is located in one of the city's prettiest squares.
Reciprocate.
reciprocate,
Reciprocate.
回报、回应、报答。
I would like to think the way I treat people is reciprocated.
我愿意认为我对待别人的方式得到了同等的回应。
I would like to think the way I treat people is reciprocated.
Subsidize.
subsidise,
Subsidize.
津贴、资助。
Victim.
victim,
Victim.
牺牲者、受害者。
He was the victim of calumny.
他曾是诽謗的受害者。
He was the victim of calumny.
Catastrophe.
catastrophe,
Catastrophe.
大灾难。
From all points of view, war would be a catastrophe.
从各个方面来看，战争都会是一场灾难。
From all points of view, war would be a catastrophe.
design, design, design,
设计、谋划、构思。
The cables are designed not to stretch.
这些缆绳被设计成没有弹性。
The cables are designed not to stretch.
aeration, aeration, aeration,
通风。
Extra.
extra,
Extra.
额外的、另外、特别的。
She won't pay any extra.
他不会支付任何额外费用。
She won't pay any extra.
Vulgar.
vulgar,
vulgar,
庸俗的、粗俗的、下流的、缺乏教养的、大众的、通俗的，
All that vulgar social climbing.
所有那些庸俗的攀附上流社会的行为。
All that vulgar social climbing.
convey,
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 传送、运送、表达、传递。
Euclid was trying to convey his idea of a geometrical point.
欧几里得正试图表达他的一个几何学观点。
Euclid was trying to convey his idea of a geometrical point.
contaminate,
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 污染。
Have any fish been contaminated in the Arctic Ocean?
北冰洋里有鱼受到污染了吗？
Have any fish been contaminated in the Arctic Ocean?
remuneration,
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 报酬。
conformity,
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 符合、一致。
Excessive conformity is usually caused by fear of disapproval.
过分随大流通常是由于担心不被认同造成的。
Excessive conformity is usually caused by fear of disapproval.
skull,
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 颅骨、脑袋。
The bullet punctured the skull.
子弹射穿了头骨。
The bullet punctured the skull.
lane,
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 小巷、行车道。
The road is only one lane wide.
这条路只有一个车道那么宽。
The road is only one lane wide.
entrepreneurial,
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 创业的。
His company, Soria Natural SA, has become an entrepreneurial success story.
他的公司 Soria Natural SA 已经成为企业成功的一个案例。
His company, Soria Natural SA, has become an entrepreneurial success story.
groan,
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 呻吟、叹息。
Dorothea let out a histrionic groan.
多罗西亚发出了一声做作的呻吟。
Dorothea let out a histrionic groan.
predator,
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 捕食性动物、食肉动物、奴役他人者、剥削者、掠夺者。
Their natural predators have been killed off.
他们的天敌已被灭绝。
Their natural predators have been killed off.
disintegrate,
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 碎裂、瓦解、解体。
At 420 miles per hour, the windshield disintegrated.
每小时420英里时，挡风玻璃碎了。
At 420 miles per hour, the windshield disintegrated.
foremost,
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 最好的、最重要的。
It is first and foremost a trade agreement.
它首先是一项贸易協定。
It is first and foremost a trade agreement.
chief,
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 主要的、为首的。
The men mustered before their clan chiefs.
男人们在他们的氏族首领前集合。
The men mustered before their clan chiefs.
penetration,
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 进入、穿过、洞察力、领悟力。
The thick walls prevented penetration by debris from the hurricane.
一堵堵厚墙阻挡了飓风带来的碎片的穿透。
The thick walls prevented penetration by debris from the hurricane.
Despite.
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 不管，尽管，
Despite his lack of experience, he got the job.
尽管缺乏经验，他还是得到了那份工作。
Despite his lack of experience, he got the job.
Forfeit.
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 丧失，失去，
That is the forfeit he must pay.
那是他必须付的罚金。
That is the forfeit he must pay.
Consecutive.
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 连续不断的，连贯的。
The cup was won for the third consecutive year by the Toronto Maple Leafs.
这个奖杯连续第3年由多伦多枫叶队赢去了。
The cup was won for the third consecutive year by the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Assimilation.
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 吸收，吸收和同化的过程。
This technique brings life to instruction and eases assimilation of knowledge.
这种技术给教学带来活力，并使知识的吸收更加容易。
This technique brings life to instruction and eases assimilation of knowledge.
Conduct.
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 指导、管理、实施、指挥。
I decided to conduct an experiment.
我决定做一项实验。
I decided to conduct an experiment.
Livelihood.
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 生活、生计。
The newcomers directly threaten the livelihood of the established workers.
新来的人直接威胁到原有工人的生计。
The newcomers directly threaten the livelihood of the established workers.
Bury.
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 埋葬、埋藏、掩藏。
She buried it under some leaves.
他把它埋藏在一些树叶下。
She buried it under some leaves.
Triumphant.
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 得胜的，得意洋洋的，狂欢的。
The captain's voice was triumphant.
船长的声音听起来得意洋洋的。
The captain's voice was triumphant.
Drainage.
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 排水，
Keep the drainage channel clear.
保持排水管渠道畅通。
Keep the drainage channel clear.
Decay.
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 腐烂、腐朽、衰败、衰退。
The bodies buried in the fine ash slowly decayed.
埋在细灰里的尸体慢慢腐烂了。
The bodies buried in the fine ash slowly decayed.
Fantastic.
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 极好的，荒诞的，奇异的，不切实际的。
I have a fantastic social life.
我有着极好的社交生活。
I have a fantastic social life.
Reunion.
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 重聚、团聚、聚会、联谊活动。
The association holds an annual reunion.
这个协会每年举行一次重聚会。
The association holds an annual reunion.
Apparatus.
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 器械、器具、仪器、机构、组织。
One of the boys had to be rescued by firemen wearing breathing apparatus.
其中的一个男孩得由带着呼吸设备的消防队员们营救。
One of the boys had to be rescued by firemen wearing breathing apparatus.
Fracture.
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 断裂、折断。
I had a stress fracture in my left shin.
我的左小腿出现应力性骨折。
I had a stress fracture in my left shin.
Grieve.
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 伤心。
I didn't have any time to grieve.
我没有时间去悲伤。
I didn't have any time to grieve.
Liberty.
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 自由、自由权。许可、准许。
He firmly believes liberty is inseparable from social justice.
他坚信自由与社会正义是不可分开的。
He firmly believes liberty is inseparable from social justice.
Processor.
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 加工机、加工工人、处理器。
The food processor has thin, medium, and thick slicing discs.
这个食品加工机有薄中厚的切片盘。
The food processor has thin, medium, and thick slicing discs.
Almond.
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 杏树、杏仁。
On the left was a plantation of almond trees.
在左边曾是一个杏树种植园。
On the left was a plantation of almond trees.
Induce.
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 引诱、劝使、引起、导致、感应。
Music can induce a meditative state.
音乐能引人进入沉思的状态。
Music can induce a meditative state.
Input.
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 投入、输入、输入的数据。
The X-ray detectors feed the input into computer programs.
X 射线探测器把输入信息传入计算机程序。
The X-ray detectors feed the input into computer programs.
Forecast.
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 预报、预测、预想。
He delivered his election forecast.
他做了他的选举预报。
He delivered his election forecast.
Chaos.
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 混乱。
He avers that chaos will erupt if he loses.
他断言如果他失败，将会爆发动乱。
He avers that chaos will erupt if he loses.
Marsh.
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 沼泽、湿地。
The salt marshes and mud flats attract large numbers of waterfowl.
盐碱地和淤泥滩吸引来大量水鸟。
The salt marshes and mud flats attract large numbers of waterfowl.
Recycle.
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 回收利用。
Total recycling is a fiction.
完全回收利用是假象。
Total recycling is a fiction.
Recognize.
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 认出、承认、认可。
I recognize my own shortcomings.
我承认我自己的那些缺点。
I recognize my own shortcomings.
Deteriorate.
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 变坏、恶化、退化。
Standards of living were deteriorating rather noticeably.
生活水平相当明显的下降了。
Standards of living were deteriorating rather noticeably.
Bamboo.
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 竹子。
Sadly, bamboo plants die after flowering.
令人遗憾的是，竹子开花后就会死亡。
Sadly, bamboo plants die after flowering.
Volt.
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 福特。
During some lightning storms, a bolt can send a 500-volt spike through the nearest utility pole.
在某些雷雨时， 一道闪电能通过最近的电报线杆，发送500瓦特的尖峰电压。
During some lightning storms, a bolt can send a 500-volt spike through the nearest utility pole.
Shrewd.
S-H-R-E-W-D.
Shrewd.
机灵的，精明的。
She's a shrewd businesswoman.
他是一个精明的商人。
She's a shrewd businesswoman.
Resign.
R-E-S-I-G-N.
Resign.
辞职，辞去，放弃。
I feel I should resign.
我认为我应该辞职。
I feel I should resign.
Baffle.
B-A-F-F-L-E.
Baffle.
使困惑，难倒。
Her disappearance has baffled police.
他的失踪令警方大为困惑。
Her disappearance has baffled police.
Chase.
C-H-A-S-E.
Chase.
追捕，追求，刁漏。
She chased the thief for 100 yards.
他追了小偷100码远。
She chased the thief for 100 yards.
Scrutiny.
S-C-R-U-T-I-N-Y.
Scrutiny.
详细检查，细看，监视。
His private life came under media scrutiny.
他的私生活开始受到媒体的密切关注。
His private life came under media scrutiny.
Molecule.
M-O-L-E-C-U-L-E.
Molecule.
分子
Organic compounds contain carbon in their molecules.
有机化合物的分子里含碳。
Organic compounds contain carbon in their molecules.
Circle.
C-I-R-C-L-E.
Circle.
圈出，盘旋，环绕，移动。
Cut out 4 circles of pastry.
切出4块圆形油酥面饼。
Cut out 4 circles of pastry.
Offend.
O-F-F-E-N-D.
Offend.
冒犯，使厌恶，违反。
My sense of justice was offended.
我的正义感受到了冒犯。
My sense of justice was offended.
Demonstration.
D-E-M-O-N-S-T-R-A-T-I-O-N.
Demonstration.
论证，证明，示范，显示，表露，示威游行。
The demonstration climaxed 2 weeks of strikes.
游行示威达到了2周罢工的高潮。
The demonstration climaxed 2 weeks of strikes.
Memorandum.
M-E-M-O-R-A-N-D-U-M.
Memorandum.
备忘录，摘要。
Sophisticated.
S-O-P-H-I-S-T-I-C-A-T-E-D.
Sophisticated.
老于世故的，老练的，精密的，尖端的，先进的，复杂的，高雅的，有教养的。
Claude was a charming, sophisticated companion.
克劳德是个有魅力、见多识广的伙伴。
Claude was a charming, sophisticated companion.
Inalienable.
I-N-A-L-I-E-N-A-B-L-E.
Inalienable.
不可剥夺的，不可分割的。
He said the Republic now had an inalienable right to self-determination.
他说，该共和国现在拥有不可剥夺的自决权。
He said the Republic now had an inalienable right to self-determination.
Enlist.
E-N-L-I-S-T.
Enlist.
征募、从军、参军、谋取。
He enlisted as a private in the Mexican War.
他以列兵身份参加了墨西哥战争。
He enlisted as a private in the Mexican War.
Tariff.
T-A-R-I-F-F.
Tariff.
关税、税率、价目表。
America wants to eliminate tariffs on items such as electronics.
美国想要取消电子类产品的关税。
America wants to eliminate tariffs on items such as electronics.
Routine.
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 例行的，常规的。
A routine DNA sample was taken.
采集了一份常规的脱氧核糖核酸样本。
A routine DNA sample was taken.
Dredge.
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 挖掘、疏浚、挖出、析出，重提旧事。
Police have spent weeks dredging the lake, but have not found his body.
警察已经花了几周时间在湖里打捞，但是仍未发现他的尸体。
Police have spent weeks dredging the lake, but have not found his body.
Binoculars.
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 双筒望远镜。
The man was tall, his figure shortened by the magnification of Lenny's binoculars.
那个男子高高的，其个头因伦尼的双筒望远镜的放大而变矮了。
The man was tall, his figure shortened by the magnification of Lenny's binoculars.
Summarize.
Summarise.
Summarize.
总结、概括。
这个视频给个3连，大家觉得合不合适？合适的不得了。